Hey, this is your next door neighbor. I hope all is well with you. This is a message for all of the leaders in all capacities. God has called you into leadership. Not only did Jesus tell people, he went out of his way to show them by example. And this is so important. I'm going to give you a real life experience. Sister A was in the church and she was having struggles. She needed help. She told her friend she had exhausted every possibility of help. She had been going to church for years, and she went and she called her church, the church that she goes to, and she asked them to help her. She was having problems at home. She didn't have, the winter was coming and she had no heat in her house. She had no way of getting heat. She was using electric heaters, and now the bill had skyrocketed so high that she was afraid this year she couldn't afford to do it. But her natural heating or gas heating was not working. She needed help. She called on her leaders, she called her elders, she called her pastor, and she couldn't get any assistance. Meanwhile, she hears them preaching on the pulpit, oh, we need to help our brothers, help our sisters. She couldn't even get so much as a call back from them. She called and she prayed and she pleaded with God. She says, well, you know what? I'm going to call another church. She called another church. She got cold shoulder. She called another church. She got a cold shoulder. She called her church had a men's ministry. She called her men's ministry. No help. She finally went to this small church and she prayed and she prayerfully spoke to this pastor. This was a pastor that had stopped and prayed with her a long time ago. And she calls this pastor and she tells this pastor, Pastor, this is the situation. I haven't had heat in my house for more than 10 years. I don't have heat and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm struggling. The pastor said, Sister, did you say that you don't have heat? The sister replied, no, I don't have heat. He says, okay. This winter you will have heat in your house. She thought of what he was saying and it sounded like just blank words as far as she's concerned, because she had been turned down by so many people. My friends, this pastor came to her house with a member of the church and he himself worked on her heat for her. Not only did he do that, he helped her with other little things that she needed help with. He changed her light bulbs. He did a whole bunch of things that made her feel that he was not just a pulpit leader. He was a leader of action, an example. She felt loved. She felt that God had smiled on her in the form of this leader. What was surprising to her is that he didn't just come one day. He came 2 days. He came 3 days. He came 4 days. He came the next week. He brought professionals to come into the house and to help her with her heating problem. Needless to say, by the end of his visits, she had heat in her house. My friends, this young lady felt so encouraged. She felt that this was a leader for the people, not just a leader that talked to the people, but a leader that took time to do what he preached. My friend, this is a person that this lady will follow. She said of all the churches she went to, big and small, this is the only pastor that cared enough to really shepherd the flock by going out of his way to help. She said she would follow him anywhere because he was a true leader. My friends, we as leaders need to get out into our communities. We need to go out and do the work. We don't need to line or lock ourselves in the four walls of our churches. It is time for us to be a person, a people for our community. We need to teach our young people to go out into the community. You see, there are people starving for good leaders, not people that do things to get something, but people that do things out of sheer loving service, like what Jesus did. I pray that you will take this message in the way it's given, pure love and testimonies. And I'm just praying that you as a leader will look for ways where you can minister to your community and not lock yourself into your church or into your online viewing network audience and believe that you are doing God's work. I want to tell you to get out there and get into your community and actually be like Jesus. This is your next door neighbor. Bye.